edition of Engineering and You. Glad to know that you are still there, and I'm glad to have you on this program. This program is sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillon, FNSC, and the intention for sponsoring this program is to encourage young Nigerians to study engineering, because, like I say on this program, so go the engineer, so go the society. If we are going to move from third world to first world, then our engineering must be top-notch. And that is why Prince Engineer Yemisi Shillon has deemed it fit to make this program a steady one on Ogtv every Friday at this time of the day. And my name is LANIYAN. Like it is a very interactive one where we don't only get to talk to you, but you get to talk to us. First, answer our question, and secondly, ask my guests some questions. So for the question for the day, our question for the day is, all but one of these qualities, all but one are the quality of an engineer. All but one are the quality of an engineer. A, visionary; B, brilliant; C, resilient; D, youthful. If you know the answer, please give me the word, not the option, the word that is not the quality of an engineer. And if you also can't get us by phone, you can get us through our social media platforms as was shown on your screen. And my guest is already in the house, like I told you earlier on, so we'll take this very, very short break. When we return, I'll let you know who she is and then what topic she'll be discussing with us. Don't go anywhere. Being there, I'm glad to know that you are still there. And my guest for today is Engineer OLUBUNMI LANIYAN. Engineer OLUBUNMI LANIYAN. She's a senior mechanical and project engineer. Welcome to Engineering and You.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and she will be discussing with us on the place of female mechanical engineer in Nigeria. I must tell you that when I was in school, mechanical engineering department has the least number of female engineers.
Correct.
We had 50 people in class and just 2 ladies. I hope that was not the case with your school when you were in school.
Well, I can say it was the same. As a matter of fact, let me just say thank you everyone thank you for having me. Thank you for the privilege. I'm honored to be here. I studied in Lagos State University, and like you said, mechanical engineering at the midst of more of the male gender, studying mechanical engineering. In my class and in my set, we were 179, and out of 179 students, there were like 20 females.
Wow.
So that's to tell you.
The fraction.
Yes, that we had back then.
All right, so you can go on with your presentation, after which we'll receive calls and they'll ask questions.
Okay, thank you once again, everyone. My name is OLUBUNMI LANIYAN. I'm here today thankful to God for the journey so far, and also to lend my voice on how and what the female mechanical engineers, what we do, and to encourage the young out there to say mechanical engineering is a course that you can take, you can succeed in, and then you can give your best at it and make sure that with your zeal you can attain any goal. I'll start by saying who are mechanical engineers? You might want to ask as a youth, or maybe you're still in your early days in the secondary school. Mechanical engineers are individuals that study mechanical engineering in the university. We can also say mechanical engineers are individuals that study the theory of physics or theory of physical machines that may involve force and movement. I also like to say that mechanical engineers design, we develop, and we build and test as well. Most importantly, you would also want to know that mechanical engineers are people of critical thinking and solution-driven individuals, because the idea behind our journey or our scope is to provide solutions. In what areas do we provide solutions, you would want to ask. I'll get onto that later. However, I'd like to clear up a few myths that you might currently have heard or currently have been informed about, to say, oh, why study mechanical engineering, or why study engineering as a course in the first place? The following are the myths that are typical everyday information that you get. First off, you might want to say mechanical engineering is only about cars and machines. I'm sorry to say, but mechanical engineering is not just about cars. Yes, we work with machines, we work with equipment. Means to say that mechanical engineering is not just for you to study and become a mechanic at the end of your career, no, or at the end of your schooling days, no. Another myth that I also like to clear is that mechanical engineers are seen only to be of the male gender. Like I just explained, yes, back then, and like the uncle just explained as well, back then it was seen as, oh, only for the men and all of that. But it's a myth, because nowadays you see a whole lot of females studying mechanical engineering. The essence is because we want to also solve problems. So it's not only a course for the male gender, it's a course that cuts across the entire male and female gender. And I also like to clear a myth that says we are not creative as mechanical engineers. Far from it. That's another myth that has to be cleared. Then you also want to think mechanical engineers can fix all equipment, or the myth that you hear around is that we fix fans, we fix generators, we fix cars. There are quite a number of mechanical engineers that don't even have anything to do with the fixing of cars or anything like that, but are also mechanical engineers. Another myth I like to also mention is that mechanical engineering is about the study, or so it's about lifting heavy-duty equipment or materials, as it were. I take, for example, my early days after uni, doing my both IT and after my university days, I was privileged to work with a company. Back then, what we did then was we were into the calibration. Let me just bring it out. You see the truck tankers every day, right?
Yeah.
They carry fuel every day, but there's a process that also goes into that system. There's something called calibration of trucks. So we calibrate those trucks. We calibrate tanks. You see several storage tanks around where PMS, and all of that are stored. So mechanical engineering is not just about lifting of equipment. There's things that you don't have to physically lift items, because that's what that part of mechanical industry is about. Also, sometimes they say we don't have a social life. And I want to believe you must have heard that.
I've heard that on several. I was asking you. It's one of the things I wanted to ask you. Because they say engineers don't really have a social life. One, they don't really know how to communicate aside from drawing. Communicate via drawing.
No, we're not all about the drawings. We have a social life. I like to point that clearly. So then it also depends on the individual. But most importantly, to say that we are just all about the book, no. We all have a social life at the end of the day. So we don't just study. Yes, we know what we have to do is creative and solving, bringing solutions to some challenges, yes, but we also have a social life. Moving on, I also like to say that one of the myths that we also hear is that mechanical engineering only requires you to be good in only mathematics. Well, this is debunked, because in the real world, the mechanical engineering career requires critical and problem-solving skills. So at the back of your mind, you should also think of, how do I bring solutions to a challenge in whatever industry regarding the engineering space that you might find yourself. I also like to let our viewers know that there are different branches of mechanical engineering as a career. Once you're done with your 5-year course, there are different arms to the mechanical engineering discipline as a whole that you can choose as a career path. First and foremost is the oil and gas industry. I, for one, work in the oil and gas industry. I don't lift equipment. I'm a lady, yes. So I'm trying to debunk the myths. I have a social life. So another part of the mechanical engineering career path that you can choose is to be an industrial engineer. This doesn't have to do with liftings, as it were. It has to do with integrating the workers with equipment and bringing about solutions in the industrial world in terms of productions, as it were. Another career path for a mechanical engineer could be, you can work in the automobile industry. That is clearly, as the myth has been, to say we are only about cars. Yes, so you can choose to, as a mechanical engineer, go into the automobile part of mechanical engineering. You can choose to fix cars, you can choose to design cars, you can choose to be a part of that system in total and derive a solution at the end of the day. Another mechanical engineering career branch that you have, or that we have, is the building services. We all are aware that, yes, buildings are put up, we see buildings high-rise every day, but there's a system or a back-end system that deals with the HVAC, we call it, the heating and ventilation and ACs. That brought about that into the building. So that's another part of the mechanical engineering career path that any young individual can decide to. There may not be as many as the world thinks, yes, but there are several female engineers that are doing great in these different fields and are creating daily, bringing about solutions to all of these challenges that we have. Another career path that can be chosen is to be a CAD technician, a computer-aided designer, like we always call them. So this has to do with the AutoCAD drawings that we have. That has to do with the drawings that you're referring to. So we don't just design, or we don't just draw. There is a technique, or there's a career, or there's an engineering backing that you have to put into the design. Take for example, you see this, like I mentioned, the tanks, high-rise that you see. There's a design that has to go into that. There's a system of how to design, how to make sure your design is safe. Most importantly, make sure that at the end of the day you are pleasing your clients or your stakeholders, as it were. So all of that is also another career path that can be chosen. And also, mechanical engineers also hold management positions, I must say. Yes, we have mechanical engineers in different management positions in different industries. So you want to see that there's a VP for that, or as a management level in any organization, or specifically in an engineering outfit, let me put. You also see management positions like in different societies. There are mechanical engineers that are doing awesomely well as a management staff in different companies. I like to say there are several successful female mechanical engineers. At the top of my head is Engineer Fumilade Akingbabong. I hope I didn't get that name wrong. She's currently the president of IMECI, Institute of Mechanical Engineers. That's to tell you that the females are not just laid back. Even though we studied mechanical engineering, everyone is striving hard. As much as I want to use that word striving hard, we also have to remember that your mindset of achieving success, first and foremost, is important as a young individual, to say, I've seen a few persons do it. This is what I stand for. I really also want to be this. I want to be better at this. I want to be a part of a system that is bringing about solutions to ABCDE thing, or the current need for a particular society. There are several of the female. There's another lady that, another engineer rather, that is doing well in the automobile industry. I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name is Engineer Ojo, I think, and I know she runs an automobile industry. She has a company where she brings female engineers. She hires only female mechanical engineers. They are into automobiles. They fix cars. That's awesome. Like, just
giving them platform.
Yes, giving them a platform to thrive. So as long as you are willing to learn, as long as you're willing to give your best in any career path that you find yourself, by all means you see yourself flying high. Also, there are several other female mechanics. There are too many to be counted, as a matter of fact.
Awesome.
Okay. Also, I like to say there are several female societies, as it were, that help or support the journeys of the young female mechanical engineers. There are societies called, take for example, I just mentioned the president of IMECI, Institute of Mechanical Engineers in Nigeria. There is APOEN, that's an association for professional women engineers. That's a whole body that has to do with engineers, female engineers. Not to mention that there are only mechanical engineers there. No, there are all disciplines of mechanical engineering, all arms of mechanical engineering. So you can, as an individual or as a young lady, choose to be a part of this system, because we have, the system has been created over the years to help not just the young engineers, but also the experienced engineers. Is a place where you have a platform where you have an opportunity to grow. It's a platform where you have an opportunity to showcase your work and also learn, because at the end of the day, we all have to keep learning, no matter what position you think you've achieved. So I like to say that there are several positions that have been held by female mechanical engineers, especially in Nigeria. Female mechanical engineers are also in the government parastatals. So you can see that in Ogun State, for example, you can just visit any of the government parastatals and find out that, oh, so you're a mechanical engineer, ma? Yes, I am. I don't know their names by heart, but I know that there are some of them there. Also, we see mechanical engineers holding positions as lead mechanical engineers in, take for example, an oil and gas outfit, where they are females, yes, and then they are giving their best to bring about solutions to the oil and gas industry. Typically, it doesn't have to do with the male gender only. Females are also there. So my encouragement and my words to the young engineers is that, or the aspiring ones, is that the sky is the limit, and the sky is large enough for everyone to fly. You should just first and foremost think about what you want to do. It's not an industry where you would sit back idle and probably not give your best, just like every other career path. You have to showcase what you do. You have to first and foremost believe in yourself and all that you stand for, and also ensure that when I put my best in, the results will show. And then, of course, you get the fruits of the results. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, there are several initiatives that are currently helping young engineers or young ladies that want to be a part of the engineering industry. There are industries like Girls in Engineering, Mathematics and Science. It's a program that specifically targets girls in secondary schools to spark their interest in STEM. You would also want to see another institute, like I mentioned, the IMECI. There's another society called Women in Mechanical Engineering Association. All of these societies are encouraging, they have a platform where they go to universities, where they go to secondary schools to encourage young girls to say that the mechanical engineering industry is not just for the male gender. It's something that you can do because these other individuals have been able to achieve such goals in the engineering industry. Like I mentioned, there are different career paths under the umbrella of the mechanical engineering discipline that you can choose to be a part of. I'd also mentioned the Nigerian Society of Engineers. That's also a body that is about the engineering society as a whole. So whichever one you choose to, as a young girl, choose to be a part of, there are mentors there. There are people that hold your hands to groom you to say you can achieve this, because they've also gone through the ropes and they've also seen that this is achievable. So we should not just look the other way, thinking it's all mechanical engineering is just a masculine thing. It's both for male and the female. I'd also like to lend my advice to the young and aspiring female engineers. If at the end of the day you choose to, or you decide to study mechanical engineering, my charge would be that first and foremost, believe in God, believe in the fact that whatever you do, you have to put Him first, and then be committed to your spiritual life, whichever path you walk with. I'd also like to say, choose a mentor. I know I've heard it in one of our groups and societies to say that mentors are treasures. You never can tell how much a mentor will hold your hand. So you should also be careful while choosing your mentors, because you want to choose a mentor that, one, not just has achieved, but is also willing to groom you, also willing to hold your hand. And you also have to be willing to learn, be open to learning. You have to be willing to listen, because at the end of the day, life is in stages. You might see the female mechanical engineers looking all socialite kind of, and then you see them using or riding the best of cars, and you're in your mind in a haste to want to get to that position. My charge would be that life is in phases. You have to take it a step at a time. Everybody has his time. As long as you put in the work, the good work, you would also get your time to be established. Another charge I'd like to drop is to say that they should keep believing in themselves. Rome wasn't built in a day, like we all know. you have to believe first in yourself to say, I can achieve this. And one of the things I've learned in recent times is to say, your mindset is also important. Whatever you have as a mindset of either achieving or not achieving, you find yourself tending towards that path. So you should, most importantly, work on your mindset. Make sure that you have that strong belief in yourself and mindset to say, I can also do this as a female mechanical engineer. I can be better, I can do better than those that have gone ahead. I'll say remain confident without fear. I'll say stay focused and don't get distracted. I'll say never stop seeking knowledge, because at the end of the day, the moment we stop learning, we start dying, yes, like we say. So seek to be better at whatever arm of the engineering career path you choose. Strive to be better, give your best at it, let your work speak for you, and then in due time, it will all pan out. Don't compare yourselves to others. That's another charge I like to give to the young aspiring female mechanical engineers. And I'll also like to say, don't run after positions quickly. Like I said, life is in phases. We seem to want to chase after I want to be engineer this, I want to be VP for this.
Life is in phases.
Men are in sizes. Exactly. Yeah. So that would be my overall charge to the young female or aspiring female engineers.
Okay, since you're ending on the note, your presentation on the note of a charge, maybe let's extend the charge to the parents, because that's one of the factors that encourage or discourage a girl child from aspiring. So what advice will you give to a parent that probably is watching this?
My advice to parents would be to trust in your female or to your girl child first and foremost. And I would like to say that anyone can study mechanical engineering, especially the female gender. We are not the weaklings like they make us look like. We are not weak physically. We also have a mind that works. So I like to say to parents, please encourage and allow your girls to study engineering. There's several women out there, several societies of female engineers, not just mechanical, that are doing brilliantly well in the industry, in different industries. I mentioned the industrial industry. I mentioned the oil and gas industry. That's speaking specifically to mechanical engineering alone, not to talk about the engineering discipline in general. Parents should please allow their wards or their female children to study engineering. It's a very interesting discipline to be in. It's not just because at the end of it all you are chasing after the money, but because you also want a prestigious, at the end of the day, career path to yourself that you can be proud of. So any child that comes to you to say, I'd like to study engineering, please allow them. Please seek knowledge in terms of, are other women doing this? Can you thrive in this? And guide them on the path to say, oh, I know a person that I can hand you over to as a mentor, or I can be a part of a society that you want to join, or for the end goal to say mechanical engineers can be successful.
Right. Lastly, before we go, because our time is almost up. You are a senior mechanical / project engineer. What is that about?
Okay. Briefly, project engineering is managing a project in the barest of the lamest description. I'll say project engineers are the glue between the client and the company. We stand in the gap to make sure that everything as per planned is being achieved.
All right, and that is what we have for you today. My guess is our time is up, so we have to allow her to go. But I want to say a big thank you to Engineer OLUBUNMI LANIYAN.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for the exposition. It was really enlightening, I must say. Thank you so much. Thank you for being there with us to watch the program for the past 25-30 minutes thereabout. Thanks to our sponsor, Prince Engineer Shillon FNSC. And as we go, the conversation continues on our social media platforms. Mechatronics is an arm of transport engineering. True or false? Please drop your answer on our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and someone will be there to know if you are right or wrong and get the prize across to you, courtesy of our sponsor. Thank you so much. Next week, Friday is another time. By God's grace, we will be here and with another guest to dissect another arm of engineering and also to make you understand that engineering is the way to go. My name is Tunde Olaniro, and until next week, bye-bye.